Hi, I'm Laura D. Pusey, the founder of Dippism Death in Practice. And this is the channel where we are talking the things on dying and death, life and grief. Each week I answer a question and I say it as I see it because, well, I've seen a lot. In the last video, I answered the question, are they avoiding me? If you have questions about that video or you want me to answer a question for you, send me an email at deathinpractice@gmail.com. Okay, let us now open the veil of luminescence. With the intention of infinite truths, by the pulse of sacred light, I call forth the veil of luminescence. I anchor this veil in sovereign light to transmute and contain all energetic imprints, attachments, and residues across all realms. The material plane, where grief etches into the body. The emotional plane, where sorrow swells and purges. The mental plane, where stories of loss seek resolution. The astral plane, where echoes of the departed linger. The interdimensional corridors, where ancestral and cosmic threads intertwine. The parallel universes, where grief and grace mirror each other. This veil, woven of remembrance and radiance, is encoded with clarity to discern what is yours and what is not. Containment to protect your field, compassion to honour the sacred work of grief, transmutation to alchemize pain into wisdom. Let this veil shimmer between worlds, holding space for the divinity of each soul, the teachings where presence dissolves suffering, the soul's awakening where death births depth, the healing where grief becomes grace. This veil is not a wall but a sacred membrane, allowing only what aligns with truth, love, and remembrance to pass through. By the breath of the infinite, by the pulse of the sacred, I seal this veil with sovereignty and light. Yo, Wagwan. Yeah, right? I asked you that question, but I already know the answer because, well, I'm psychic, innit? No, I'm not psychic. Well, maybe just a little bit. In truth, we all are psychic, but that's for later in the video. Today I'm answering the question, should I speak to a psychic? If someone you love has died, then you may be wondering whether you should see a psychic, or more accurately, a medium, especially if you are missing your beloved so much that you just want to know that you can still reach out to them and get the guidance or the messages that you need. Trust, I've been there. And when I say that I've been there, I mean I went. And I went in time and time again. And once I was in, I was hooked. I hung around with people who were psychic mediums, and I dabbled in being a psychic medium. And let's just say I came out the other end. Yes,
I am free of the candles, the crystals, rituals, the moon, the sun, numerology, star signs, cartomancy, Chinese astrology, Reiki, scrying mirrors, tarot, dowsers, dowsing rods, chakras, automatic writing. I became a Reiki master. I went to spiritual churches, reading circles. Like, it became a religion in itself, to be honest. I created my own decks and I activated people. Yes, there are people out there who are perhaps better off because I opened them up to their psychic and spiritual selves. When I say I was in it, I was in deep. And I'm not knocking any of it because it literally kept me alive. From the moment I sat in front of the first psychic, I was hooked. I wanted more, and the messages I got were good. I took what I needed and I was able to move forward, but I wasn't satisfied. I wanted more. I was told that there was more, and I expected more. And there is more. There is so much more, but it's not necessarily for this conversation. The question today is, should I speak to a psychic? And I'd say, babes, it's entirely up to you. A psychic is someone who has the ability to perceive information that is beyond the normal human senses that we aren't often aware of. They read through intuition, extrasensory perception, or heightened sensitivity to energy or emotions. Psychics can gain insight into a person's past, present, or future, communicate with spirits, or sense hidden influences that are affecting situations. And people sometimes consult psychics for guidance on personal matters such as relationships, life decisions, or spiritual questions. Really, you can see a psychic about anything. A medium, or rather a spirit medium, is a person who has the ability to communicate with spirits or the consciousness of people who have died, acting as a bridge between the living and the spirit world. Mediums may receive messages through sensations, images, sounds, emotions, or spoken words, and they often share these messages to bring comfort, guidance, or closure. Many people seek mediums to feel connected to loved ones who have died, and they get comfort from those sessions. I was also into channeling. So I hung around a lot on YouTube channels that featured videos from Seth Speaks, Esther and Jerry Hicks, and Bashar, back when not as many people had really heard of Bashar. I was on it, and I'm talking from like 2005 or so. So I've got about 20 odd years in this game. Channeling is a person receiving information, guidance, or messages from a non-physical source, such as a spirit, higher consciousness, a deity, or universal energy. The individual acting as a channel may enter a focused or an altered state of awareness to allow the messages to come through as thoughts, spoken words, or writing, and it can offer insight, wisdom, or spiritual understanding. So, if you feel drawn to see someone who can provide these kinds of services, then I would say follow your heart. If you don't, you won't get a personal experience that could allow you to decide what's right for you. I wasn't a daddy's girl. I didn't get the chance to be a daddy's girl. But towards the end of my dad's life, he was a really good friend, someone I could reason with. But our time was perhaps cut short when he died of meningitis. I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness, but my dad wasn't. He was in the betting shop, the pub, under cars, out with his friends. He was kind of typical of his time. And when he died, I missed him dearly. I missed the smell of him, or more accurately, the smell of weed. I missed the way that he said things. I missed him playing music. I missed seeing him sitting at the dinner table, and I missed being out with him in his car. He felt cool. I felt cool when I was with my dad. Above everything else, I grieved the fact that I wasn't allowed to know him because of my mum's religion, and that he didn't fight to know me. I grew up with my dad in the house, but we were strangers. I lived in fear of him until I got to know him. And so when he died, I sought psychics and mediums and the tools that might allow me to see him or speak to him one more time. And he didn't come through. Yeah, he wasn't in it. But his mum, my grandmother, did. And she had died when I was a baby. And all that I had been told about her kind of lined up with what I was told by the psychics and the mediums. But what I had been told when I was growing up wasn't actually very positive. The psychics and mediums went further in showing me the kind of woman that she was and how she felt about me. I actually grew to love and learn about my grandma through psychic interactions, and she made it abundantly clear that she was not happy with the way that things had worked out for me. She urged me to reconnect with my true family. And then, when I was reunited with that side of the family, they confirmed everything. They told me everything I needed to know, and I finally understood who I was and why I am the way I am. Sometimes the information that you get can be wrong, and it can be wrong for many reasons. Sometimes a person might not have a good, strong connection, and sometimes there is absolutely no connection. Some people just want your money. Sensing your desperation, they might just tell you what they think you want to hear. They ask leading questions, and then they build on that as they go on your reactions. A desperation for something, anything, can have you going off in the wrong direction, and at times you might misunderstand what you are being told. And sometimes the message just ain't for you. Also, you don't know how clean your energy worker is. You don't know what they have done to prepare themselves to connect with you or your loved one. You don't know who they are working with and whether those energies are benevolent. There is life after death, and sometimes they don't want to chat to you. Maybe it's too soon, or maybe they simply don't show up. When I heard that my mum was in hospital, I visited a psychic that I had built up a good relationship with. She assured me that my mum wasn't dying. And so, when I visited her in hospital, my conversation with her started off filled with hope that we could reconcile our differences. She did die. But I think if I had been told that she was dying, I would have handled that conversation a lot differently. I would have handled the next 2 weeks differently, and I would have caused myself more pain in the long run. The information that I got from the psychic was wrong, but I never actually blamed her, because every minute of every day, energy is changing. We all have free will. What is true on one day can alter in a moment because we all make decisions that lead us down different paths. I was and still am thankful for the wrong information that I received, because I think even though I came out of that hospital completely heartbroken, I was saved from experiences that would have been much, much worse for me. I am the woman I am today because my mum was the woman that she was. Our animosity continued after she died, but she also got it. She understood, she saw the bigger picture. She had more awareness, but she couldn't admit it. And I know this may sound crazy, but I lived it. This is my experience. Because we were straddling worlds, she was able to connect with those around me, but she was still stubborn and offish, so I wasn't having any of it. There is an ancient philosophical expression, as above, so below, that suggests that there is a correspondence between different levels of reality. It means that patterns or truths that exist in the higher spiritual or cosmic realms are reflected in the lower physical or earthly realms, and vice versa. It speaks of the universe as being interconnected, and that understanding oneself or the natural world can provide insight into greater universal principles. It also implies that changes on one level can influence another. Now, I have come to understand that if it's a shambles down here, then it's a shambles over there because we don't stop learning, growing. The journey continues. And if your loved one died of a disease within the body, or suddenly, violently, or unexpectedly, even though they are no longer in the body, they still need to heal and go through their own processes of understanding or remembering. The death transition is disorienting and they need time to adjust. Consider a newborn baby. They don't just pop out and start chatting and walking. They have to learn and grow. As above, so below doesn't automatically mean that your loved one becomes an ancestor. There is a process, and becoming an ancestor doesn't automatically mean that they are wise or well. Not all of our ancestors have our best interests at heart. Not all of them are healed from their traumas. And if you do believe in reincarnation, that could explain why some people are just effed up in life and experience crazy situations, not because they are possessed, but because the trauma is carried down through our bloodlines, and we have come to Earth to do the work of clearing those bloodlines in this lifetime. We have attracted bad situations because we are doing the work of breaking generational cycles, curses, and spells. It's necessary so that our descendants have a chance of living life as strong and empowered human beings. Imagine what our lives would be like if our bloodlines were clear of all the debris that has been collected over the hundreds or even thousands of years that we have been on Earth. The debris is carried down through the umbilical cord. It's carried down through our DNA. And if your mother has any form of trauma, it is absorbed while we are in the womb. There is also trauma in the sperm too. And when we are fertilized, we are already challenged. But we came to do this. We chose our parents. I'm sorry, I know many people don't want to hear that. But we chose our parents. And they, oh so graciously, allowed us to have this experience that we call life. However you turn out, whether they are good or bad parents, they set you on the track that you need to be on to get your mission accomplished. And they can only do that with the tools that they have. Just because they are your parents, it doesn't mean that they are automatically wise or have common sense and knowledge. They have their own battles and issues, and of course, they have their own mission. And so, when we burst forth onto this earthly terrain on a given date and time, we are attuned to the energies of the astrological world. And we're saddled with a name, which also has energies attached. And then we are indoctrinated by institutions, religions, culture, and people. This is life. I've had to write this script because if I freestyled the information that I wanted to pass on, I would have gone off on tangents that would have been messy and unfathomable. If you want to see a psychic or a spirit medium, go for it. But make sure that you understand that whatever is happening, wherever your loved one is, they are dead and gone. They are on a whole new journey. And the more you drag them back to the earthly realms with your emotions, the more you hold them back from their natural journey. It takes a lot of energy for them to connect with you, and they have to navigate the energy and the interpretations of your medium before they can transmit anything to you. What you get can be lost in translation, so I would urge you to seek them directly, and instead of going to your loved one, try connecting with those who have been over there a lot longer. The most important thing that I learned when I was on my journey, let's call it, was that when you seek the help of a psychic, medium, or any spirit worker, you are giving them your energy, your trust, and your power. You are giving it away, and they can do with it whatever they please, even after you've gone, because you are still open. They are not stronger than you, and they aren't doing anything that you yourself can't do. They just know how to do it. When you seek the help of an energy worker, you are denying your own natural gifts, and they can't grow and strengthen within you because you're not using them. You know that phrase, use it or lose it? There are people and forces out there who don't want us to know who we are and how great we are. So they haven't taught us how to use or maintain our naturally given gifts. Instead, they've demonized them and made us think that we were wicked, evil, or even mad for tapping in. The same is true when you use spiritual tools. We are of the earth. Your body is laced with spiritual tools, like crystals, and knowledge and wisdom. Melanin is divine technology, and your body is your dowser, and your body has everything you need contained within it. You can start by activating it with sea salt and water. Yes, every single one of your ancestors has been in contact with salt and water, and they have memory. The energy workers are getting the information by reading your auric field. The last layer of that field is your skin, and your auric field can stretch a good 6 or several feet, even meters out beyond your physical body in all directions. When you're sick or stressed, your auric field can contract. And this is the reason why you have to be careful about the people that you allow to get close to you, because they have an auric field too. And it is this that you read when you sense that someone's a bit offish, when you're sensing their state of mind, and if they're happy and jolly. It's how you can pick up shitty energy from others without realizing it. and attract the wrong people in your life time and time again. We are all very sensitive beings. Don't be fooled into thinking that you aren't already communicating with forces, energies, and beings in other fields, dimensions, and realms, because you are. Whether you believe it or not, you are clairvoyant, which means clear seeing, receiving information through images, visions, or symbols. You are clairaudient, which means clear hearing, hearing messages, sounds, or inner voices. You are clairsentient, which means clear feeling. That means that you sense emotions, physical sensations, and energy. You are claircognizant, which means you have a clear knowing, sudden knowledge, often without knowing how or why. Now, my nose doesn't work too well, but we are clairalient, which means that we can smell or sense smells with no physical source, often known as clairscent or clairolification. I think I've said that wrong, but when you look it up, you'll find out for yourself. You have clairgustance, which means clear tasting, which means that you do experience tastes without eating or drinking. If I say red wine, hamburger, or candy floss, you can taste them because you know them. And you have clairtangency, which is also called psychometry, which is clear touching, gaining information by touching an object. We all have these tools within us. We just haven't been taught how to use them. Okay, enough. ENUF. The rest is up to you. Go and do your own research. Of course, you can come back and you can watch this video again and again if you need to. And if you want to be part of the live conversation where we talk more about this and about life and death, dying and grief in straight up ways, then book your space on the monthly Zoom. The Eventbrite link is below. If I have piqued your interest and you like what you've heard, please hit the like button and subscribe. And if this video has touched you in a way that you feel that you need to share your thoughts, then let me know at deathinpractice@gmail.com. Please state clearly whether any of your email can be shared, and if you want a shout out, let me know so that I know what to call you. If you want a one-to-one with myself or one of my grief practitioners, contact us at www.dippism.com. You can find more snippets of these videos on TikTok and Instagram, and also other YouTube channels of mine where you can leave your comments. Finally, if someone you know needs to see this video, don't be a twat. Please do share it with them, and all of my links are in the description box below. And now, let us close the veil of luminescence.
By the breath of the infinite, by the pulse of the sacred, I honour the veil of luminescence now fulfilled. This veil, once summoned to transmute and contain, has held the field with clarity, compassion, and sovereign light. As the teachings settle and the soul integrates, I call forth the sacred closure of this veil across all realms. On the mental plane, let the body rest in renewal. On the emotional plane, let sorrow soften into spaciousness. On the mental plane, let stories find stillness. On the astral plane, let echoes return to source. Through interdimensional corridors, let threads untangle. Across spheres and planetary systems, allow contracts to be honoured and released. Let all residues now return to their rightful place, dissolved, dispersed, or transmuted by sovereign light. Let the veil fold inward, encoded with discernment to preserve what is true, containment to seal what is sacred, compassion to cradle what remains tender, and wisdom to carry forth what has been alchemized. This veil is reabsorbed into the soul's archive, a luminous record of presence, grief, and transformation. By the breath of the infinite, by the pulse of the sacred, I seal this veil with sovereignty and light.